Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and this is a very special speed build today. It is an amazing collab with 5 other amazing creators here on YouTube, and the first one is Penapple. She actually organized this whole thing, and it's been absolutely incredible and fun. Thank you so much, Penapple, for inviting me to do this with you guys. And she did Poland. She was the first townhouse to be built on the lot, and the second was Dana Colorful. I think she's ColourfulSims on YouTube, also an amazing creator. She did Germany, I believe. And then the next one was HeyHarrie, and she did a New York City brownstone townhouse. And the next is SpringSims, and he did a London townhouse with a creepy secret. And then the next is FreezerBunny, and he did modern Japanese townhouse. And then it's me, and I'm doing a townhouse from San Francisco. So basically the whole idea of it was to create a townhouse from different parts of the world. We all picked our area or our country to represent, and I knew for a fact that I wanted to do San Francisco because I really enjoy building Victorian homes, and they're pretty famous for their Victorian townhouses, otherwise known as painted ladies. In American architecture, painted ladies are basically Victorian and Edwardian houses and buildings painted in 3 or more colors that enhance the architectural details of the house. And the term was first used for San Francisco Victorian houses by a few different writers. I don't remember their names, but yeah, so it's basically just to refer to these houses that are super colorful. I wanted to do a outrageously colorful house, but I ended up changing the house color to like a blue siding, because in the game there's not really a whole lot of bright siding, and I thought that anything super colorful and random, like outrageously out there, would clash too much with FreezerBunny's townhouse next to mine. So I tried to keep it a little more subtle. There is 3 colors technically, so it is technically a painted lady, so I'm fine with that. There are quite a lot of these in San Francisco. I think there's about 48,000 houses in the Victorian and Edwardian style, and they were built between 1849 and 1915. And yeah, so it's pretty cool. Here you can see I was trying out the pink siding, but I was like, nah, it looks too weird next to the red and white and black. So I decided to play around with different greens, but it was just too weird, you guys. I couldn't do it. So yeah, like I said, I changed it to a blue siding, and I changed the fencing details to a yellow and white. So yeah, I thought it turned out pretty well though, and I had so much fun building this house. It didn't take me very long either, but I did have about a month to plan or so, because each speed build took about a week for us to upload, so we uploaded every Saturday or so. And if you haven't seen the other speed builds, you definitely should. I think Penapple did like a playlist of all of our speed builds, so definitely check that out, and I'll try to link that for you guys so it's easier for you to find. So as you can see on the bottom, I have a little space that's underneath the first floor. The idea of that is I was kind of thinking that when you're driving up to the townhouse, you would go down a ramp into the garage area, and yeah, so that's basically what I was thinking. But there's not a real way to do that in The Sims. You basically have to create a basement and then remove the ceiling. So I don't think like a roof would have worked as a ramp, but that was the idea of it, was, you know, you drive at a slope underneath the house into the garage. So that's why there's a door there. But yeah, that was basically the idea for the outside. So this is probably one of my favorite areas of the house, and it's a very small area of the house, but I just love it. Like, can you imagine having this Victorian upholstered couch like in a breakfast nook? I don't know, that's just crazy to me. And I thought it'd be really, really nice to kind of try it out, and it actually does work. The Sims, well, not if your Sims are sitting in the couch because it doesn't connect, but if they sit, you know, in the chairs surrounding it, it still works. So yeah, I did try and play test this townhouse out, and everything does work, and it is on the gallery, so you can have your Sims kind of live wherever they please, or you know, just have one of the townhouses, whatever you'd like. So right now I'm working on the kitchen, and I thought that, you know, adding a little bit of a detail to the floor might be nice here. And for this house, I wanted the home to be a mixture of Victorian and modern elements. I imagine that the people who live here are like a more well-off couple and their teenage daughter. So yeah, that's kind of why I imagine living here. And I also imagined that they have some type of maybe Japanese or Chinese ethnicity. There is a large population of Asian culture in San Francisco, so I kind of wanted to represent that in some of the decor items that I use throughout the house. So yeah, and I also wanted to stick with a very minimal color scheme, so a lot of what's in the house is black and white, and there's little, you know, touches of color here and there, but I like the idea of having, you know, very minimal color involved. So I'm working on the foyer now, and I saw a picture online that I really liked. It was kind of like a foyer that had bookshelves, these ornate bookshelves lining the side of the foyer. So yeah, I really liked that, and I thought it might be nice to incorporate that into this townhome because I felt like it fit really well. So now I'm working on the dining room, and I really liked the idea of having a round table, and the only way I knew how to do this was to use one of the shorter tables and then just duplicate it so it looked kind of round. It's more of like a hexagon, I guess. To my surprise, it actually works, and your Sims can eat on it just fine. So I was really happy about that, and I also wanted to have really, really dark floors and light walls. I thought that was a nice combination. So moving on to the backyard, sometimes when I feel stuck on the interior, I'll just move on to landscaping and, you know, figuring out the outside. So that's kind of what I did because I wasn't sure where I was going at this point in the interior. So I thought it might be a good idea to work on the outside and figure that out. I wanted it to be kind of lush and a little bit traditional. I was really inspired by, you know, European landscaping, and I thought, you know, it might be really nice to incorporate that here since, I don't know, maybe the couple who lives here really likes the European style and antiques and all that. So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking for the outside here. I also wanted the outside to be very organic looking, so I used the terrain paints to create like a wavy looking pathway and patio area. And I liked having some greenery on this wall because it was a little too white, but I didn't want to change FreezerBunny's build in any way, so I thought putting some greenery on there and a little fountain would be appropriate. I also didn't want the plants to be too large because the space is kind of small, so I chose a lot of low plants and flowers to place here in the garden, and, you know, just a few little bushes here and there to accentuate the the certain areas that had greenery in it. Please excuse the rain outside. I'm right next to a window and it just started like pouring rain, so I'll try to edit that out. But yeah, so if you hear like some weird noise, it's probably the rain outside. Yeah, so I really love this little garden. It's so pretty at night. I think I have footage of it a little later, but yeah. And I was so excited to use these lights on the poles that came with City Living, I think. I want to use them all the time. They're just really tall and you can't really use them everywhere, unfortunately. So sad. But yeah, and then, you know, perfect opportunity to have the iron patio furniture. I think that's very Victorian, and I was so happy that I could use that in this build. Here is the garden at night. Isn't it so cute? And now we're back inside. That wasn't a lot of footage. Sorry about that. So in the dining room area, I thought it'd be really nice to have like a formal dining area, and then there's like some storage space, kind of like a buffet. And so I added some decor items and some cabinets. I think I added some mirrors as well behind here, just so it would match the kitchen, because I have some mirrors in there as well. And then I thought this little space above the sink was a little bit bare, and I'm a huge fan of clutter and things like that, so just adding some clutter to those shelves. And now we're going upstairs, and I thought that this space wasn't really big enough for anything per se, because I really wanted this to be like a living room / formal living room area. So I kind of just put like an accent table in the bay window, and then started to make the informal living room. I really liked having this mirrored coffee table with the like the mirrored tray that goes, I think it came with the vintage glamour pack, but it basically has a candle, some flowers, and some like random decor items in there. But it also has a mirror on the bottom of the tray, so I don't know, I thought that was kind of cool. And I also changed the chandeliers here. I did size them up at first, but they were getting kind of in the way, so I resized them, sized them down, there we go. And for the formal sitting area, I thought it would be really nice to have a mixture of that modern and vintage. So I have a Victorian upholstered couch with these modern mid-century looking chairs. I thought that was a nice mixture. Going on up to the upstairs, which is the 3rd floor technically, I was trying to figure out the layout of the place and just kind of placing rooms and figuring out where everything is. This is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 baths, I think. So it's a pretty big house, and it would be, I think, a good family home if you were to, download this from the gallery yourself. So at this point is when I started changing all of the wood, because I really liked this herringbone looking flooring, and I think that's very Victorian, so I thought it was perfect. And it was really dark but not black. I think it is still technically a dark wood. So this bathroom is the master suite, so it's pretty fancy and it has a lot of Victorian elements to it. I really wanted a walk-in shower, so what I did was I placed just a regular shower inside of a room like that was surrounded by glass with a glass door, and I put tile on the inside of there, so it looks like it's a walk-in shower even though it's just like a regular shower inside of a room. But that's kind of what I figured was the best way to do that without having to put 2 showers next to each other, because I don't know, I've done that before and it looks kind of weird and it doesn't really make all that much sense. So I tried and I don't know, I thought it worked, and I really liked this old looking Victorian chair in here. I thought it might be a nice touch, and of course I needed to put some old radiators around the townhouse. Oh, this room, if you saw there, like the blue and white room, that was a guest room. I don't think I showed myself building it because it's just a guest room and it's, you know, pretty standard in there. But I love this master bath. I'm pretty sure that like this would be one of my dreams. I mean, I have a lot of dreams, but this would be one of them for sure. So for the master bedroom, I thought it'd be really nice to have like a more modern touch to it. I don't imagine that the couple that lives here is very old. I think they had their kid when they were younger, and they've both been pretty successful, so that's kind of who I imagine lives here. And again, you know, mixing the modern and the Victorian together. And I loved like the dark blue of the bed with like the what would that be, like a teal, I guess, like a greenish blue of the Victorian couch. So yeah, that was really nice, I thought. And it really tied in with the rug that I used in here. I think I'll show you guys in a little bit, but it's one of the ones that came with City Living, and it has the really cool cultural pattern. Yeah, this one. So it has that bluish green and like the tan in it, so I thought that went really well with the rest of the room. For some reason, I'm currently obsessed with those lights that came with the bowling pack. They're like really big sconces, and I love the idea of using them as like a bedside table light, you know, just on the wall there. Even though they're a little bit big, I think it still gives the idea across. And I also liked this painting here that I used in their bedroom, because it has the same kind of color scheme, and even though it's probably inspired by the Brooklyn Bridge or something like that, I thought it could pass for the Golden Gate. You know, we can just pretend. So for the teenager's bedroom, I think I mostly put the Asian influence into her bedroom. I do have a little bit here and there, but most of it is in here. And I really wanted it to be colorful and kind of modern and bright. I liked the clash of the red and of the rug and the blue on the pillows. That was kind of nice. And I actually did this in my 1970s build, where I did like a modular shelving system kind of thing. And I thought that would be really cool in her room because there's not really a whole lot of space for a dresser or anything, so maybe she uses the shelving unit to kind of place all of her things, and, you know, books and perfumes and makeup and random stuff. So yeah, and then I placed a mirror here, and I moved the shoes from the foot of her bed to this area, because I would, if I lived here and I had this room, I would probably use that space to get dressed and, you know, see if what I'm wearing looks decent or whatever. So yeah. Well, anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed my build, my part of the collab. And like I said before, definitely check out the other speed builds in the collab and the creators, because they're amazing inside and out. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye!